Well, good evening, and welcome to our ceremony where we have the honor of recognizing exceptional staff from our schools and from across the system. My name is Jeff Marr, and it is my pleasure to MC tonight's event. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thank you to our staff, our families, and our community members who have come together in this unique virtual event to celebrate. Due to spacing limitations, we have a few people here as we stream this event, and many are joining from their offices, their living rooms, or their phones. No matter your platform or venue, we are so glad you can be with us this evening as we highlight the exceptional people in our school system. We are joined by many people who have come together to applaud our staff. Ms. Karen Bailey, Chairman of the Board of Education. Ms. Kathy Allen, Vice Chair. Mary Washington, Board Member. And Ms. Rita Weaver, Board Member. Jim Davis, Board Member, is joining from home, as is Nagina Ori, our Student Board Member. Also want to recognize and thank Dr. Scott Smith, Superintendent. Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Maureen Montgomery. Assistant Superintendent of Supporting Services, Dr. Jeff Walker. Chief of Staff, Dr. Dale Farrell. We also have with us the Director of Special Education, Scott Serbiak. The Director of Food and Nutrition Services, Ms. Megan Doran. And I think I also saw her come in, Ms. Cheryl Long, Director of Student Services. I also want to thank our many principals, assistant principals, supervisors who have joined us either remotely or here in the room to celebrate the accomplishments of our staff. Thank you all for supporting them across our system. We also want to thank our supportive partners from the education associations, both ESMIC and SMASA. I want to give a special thank you to Ms. Mills and the staff here at Leonardtown who are hosting this virtual event this evening. And tonight's event is being live streamed on our website at smcps.org/streaming. And I'd like to thank our team in the Office of Strategic Planning and Communications for making this possible. As I said, tonight is a special event as we recognize our outstanding educators and support staff who represent the very best across our system. As John Steinbeck wrote, "I have come to believe that a great teacher is a great artist. It might even be the greatest of all arts, since the medium is the human mind and spirit. For our teachers, leaders, and support staff who figuratively sculpt, paint, and perform with our young people every day, we thank you. Like artwork, each views with their own eyes and experiences, and our students, too, will take what you have given them as they grow to view the world through a different lens. You make that impact every day." We all know how unique and challenging this school year has been. Our students learned in different ways, our teachers taught in different ways, and our schools operated in different ways. To go back to the artistry metaphor, these artists painted and sculpted with new mediums, and in fact, invented new art forms. They were creative, persistent, caring, and inventive. They managed time and time again to overcome challenges and meet our students' needs. Tonight, we recognize all of our outstanding staff, those who serve in classrooms, offices, hallways, cafeterias, buses. Each one plays a vital role in educating our students. Each one of you inspires our students to dream for the world they are yet to explore and to create new art. Thank you for all you do. To kick off tonight's recognitions, I invite Ms. Karen Bailey, Chair of the Board of Education, to bring remarks on behalf of the board. Ms. Bailey.
Okay, thank you. As we reflect on the past year, which has hands down been the most difficult in the history of education, we always held out for hope. At the time, we might not have known at all what we were hoping for, but we always knew we wanted something, anything to change for the better. So Dr. Smith and I have this running joke because he always throws in poems and poetry in different places. So since I get to speak first tonight, I'm going to beat him to the punch. So Emily Dickinson wrote a poem called Hope, and I'm only going to read the first part of it. But here it is. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. So the last line of this poem perfectly describes each of you and your colleagues over the past 15 months, right? You filled our schools and computer screens with hope for some type of normalcy, right? Reaching out to those children and students, and you never stopped. You never stopped teaching, you never stopped interacting with our students, you never stopped learning new technology, facing challenges which seem to have come every single week or every other day, it seemed, or challenging our students. And most of all, you never stopped doing your job. So for that, the board and I thank you. Congratulations, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Mrs. Bailey. Our recognitions of our staff are a reflection of the incredible individuals who work with our students and in our schools and offices every day. And how appropriate that we hold this event following Teacher Appreciation Week, where we recognize our amazing educators. In supporting these employees, we have a great partnership with our education associations. With that in mind, I invite Ms. Sarah Penrod, President of EASMIC, to come forward and bring remarks. Let's give Ms. Penrod and the associations a round of applause.
Thank you. In my first year as president of EASMIC, I've truly come to see how lucky St. Mary's County is to have not only such a positive, collaborative relationship between the Educators Association and the school system, but to have so many extraordinary teachers and support professionals in our schools. This year, every single one of you stepped up to the plate in ways we could have never anticipated. As leaders, you stepped outside of your own bubble to bring your expertise to a larger platform, influencing the school culture, practice, and growth within your building and the greater community. You helped others improve instruction or led teams to better meet the needs of our students. Some of you were creative in your methods of community outreach and family engagement, while others inspired confidence in your colleagues to not just survive this year, but ignite it in innovation. You weren't afraid of working above and beyond. In fact, it's what defines you here tonight as our Education Leaders of the Year. EASMIC is proud to have so many outstanding educator members, and on behalf of all of your colleagues, I congratulate you on your achievements. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Penrod. Tonight, we recognize our staff members who have gone above and beyond. In addition to the staff highlighted tonight, we also applaud the teachers who were nominated by parents, students, and peers for excellence in online teaching. Over 1,200 nominations were submitted this year, a testament to the extraordinary work that was done to engage our students in learning throughout the duration of the virtual learning experience. For this evening's celebration, we recognize the teachers, leaders, and support staff from across our system. Each school and office has nominated individuals, and we honor them this evening. They've submitted nominees for Outstanding Educator and Education Support Professional of the Year, as well as Principal of the Year and Leader of Excellence. For our Education Support Professional and Outstanding Educators, a list was narrowed down to 8 finalists. They are also indicated in your program, and we will recognize them as we go through the evening as well. In addition, Some schools have a teacher recognized by SMECO as an outstanding math, science, or STEM teacher, and we will recognize them as well. Throughout the program, we have remarks from our winners of our county-wide awards who were selected from these nominees to represent St. Mary's County Public Schools. Our first speaker is the recipient of the Washington Post Principal of the Year for St. Mary's County Public Schools, Ms. Janet Fowler, principal of Greenview Knolls Elementary School. As Ms. Fowler comes to the podium, let me introduce her with a short video.
Janet Fowler is an excellent candidate for the Principal of the Year. She was nominated by her Greenview Knolls staff, and that alone says something really incredible about her leadership. Janet is kind, she is smart, and she has a lot of energy. But most important, she's an incredible advocate for her staff, for her students.
Janet is so deserving of this prestigious award. You know, she's an outstanding principal. She's loved by everyone, students and staff, and, you know, even central office staff. We just all really enjoy working with her. When I think about Title I, she is fully compliant. She follows all the rules and regulations, but she also looks at the spirit of the law and what's in the best interest of her students and their families, and what's in the best interest of her staff. And then in her special Janet Fowler kind of way, she involves every single stakeholder and makes the best possible decision. And even in a pandemic, Janet has infused her own brand of good times and humor and outreach to families. And she's just a leader who is very much distinguished.
And we all just love you, Janet. So congratulations.
Well, good evening, and it's wonderful to be here with everyone in person. We haven't had that in a while, so it's a great way to start. I want to sincerely thank the committee, Dr. Smith, Dr. Montgomery, and the Board of Education for giving me the opportunity to represent St. Mary's County Public Schools as the Washington Post Principal of the Year. It is a tremendous honor to receive this award. I would like to congratulate all the nominees recognized for your dedication to our SMCPS students. Thank you to Wayne, Brittany, and Ben for all the support over the years in allowing me to balance our family with my school families. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being my biggest cheerleaders. As most of you know, talking comes easy for me. However, writing a formal speech was a little bit different. The process did allow me to reflect over the last 28 years as an educator. One big takeaway was that my internal drive went from passion to purpose to focus. As a classroom teacher, I was motivated by passion for teaching my students. As an assistant principal, I was motivated by purpose to expand my reach. And now, my focus is to build a supportive school community. Life provides you with so many experiences that help you grow as a person and make memories. Some of my favorite parts of the journey are the sincere friendships and connections made with colleagues, families, and most importantly, students. I treasure all the high fives, 5-second celebration dances, positive notes, assemblies, motivational mini talks, and more in the honor of students. I like to look at things through numbers, so I did the math. In 28 years of education, 180 school days per year, estimating at least 5 high fives a day, I've been a part of 25,000 high fives. Each year, I enjoy watching the students transform. Watching their growth and development keeps me focused and excited to be an educator and fuels my energy every day. 3 years ago, I received the opportunity to return to the elementary school roots and get involved in Title I at Greenview Knolls Elementary. Within 3 months, I knew I was working in an exceptional community. One of the first goals I shared with the staff was let's establish a school climate where the kids have a mindset, I want to be at school every day. So the staff jumped right in building a sense of school family. our amazing GKES students responded exactly as we hoped, ready to be here every day, bringing their joys and troubles, and supporting each other just like a family. As a leader focused on community, I wanted to give each Greenview Knolls families time to share their story. I have learned over the years we can't help students without knowing them. What are their experiences so far? What are their families' hopes for them? I want to thank the GK staff for working extremely hard in building partnerships with every family and taking the time to blend school and home supports for our students. The strength within the Greenview Knolls community and sense of family we have established was key in our resilience to navigate this extremely unique school year. I wanted to keep the authentic connections between staff, students, and families as my focus in September as we started the adventures of remote learning. We needed creativity, flexibility, support for the emotional roller coaster, and celebrations for staff and students' achievements. We made time for face-to-face connections with families by visiting our parks. We went to homes. We had lots of family engagement activities. We had family virtual fitness night. And for the staff, we had discos, food trucks, hula hoop contests, badminton stress relieving stations, and the unpredictable principal on a pink scooter riding down the hallways and making terrific deliveries to staff. I'm still trying to retrieve all the photographic evidence. I want to thank my staff for this nomination and their confidence in my leadership. We are a team that makes a difference for all of our students, for making sure they have food, tailor their instruction to their needs, ensuring they know someone cares, to providing a simple, I'm glad you're here today. A few weeks ago, standing at dismissal, Deanna, a second grade student, said, "Miss Fowler, you know what you are?" I replied, "Lucky." She said, "No, you are the mom of the school, and Miss Donovan is the mom of the classroom." At that moment, I realized that a pandemic or virtual learning platform can't break the bonds made at GKES. We have created a family-centered and safe schoolhouse. Moving forward, I'm excited to see what the future brings. I will continue to be a leader who is a respectful listener, a creative decision maker, one who never gives up on students, a magical problem solver, and a cheerleader with a kind and caring heart for all. I end with this. I often tell my students, the one thing that no one can take away from you is the opportunity to learn. As SMCPS educators, let's continue our mission to give those learning opportunities with grace, respect, and celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fowler, and congratulations. And I do appreciate you not driving the scooter on the stage. Now we will begin by recognizing each of our school's nominees. Our school nominees are joining us virtually, and we applaud each of them for their exceptional work each day. We'll begin with elementary schools, and we'll do so in alphabetical order. The elementary school nominees are, from Benjamin Banneker Elementary School, their outstanding educator was Shirley Geisbert. Her colleagues wrote of her, "She creates an environment where the class feels more like a family. Students feel safe and comfortable." Their education support professional of the year was John Queen. His administrator says no matter the challenge, Mr. Queen gives his all and continually proves to be knowledgeable, dependable, and one of the greatest assets to our school. From Captain Walter Francis Duke Elementary School, their outstanding educator was Lindsay Chason. In nominating Ms. Chason, her principal said her ability to build solid relationships, even with our most reluctant learners, is amazing, and she pushes students to always excel and meet her expectations. Their education support professional of the year was Keiko Seidenberger. In nominating her, her principal shared that this year she has fed students amid changing weather and schedules, but that has not changed how she takes time to get to know each of her students, their dietary needs and restrictions, as well as their preferences and tastes. Their Leader of Excellence nominee was Laurel Dietz. Her colleagues wrote, "Miss Dietz is a strong advocate for education, who successfully elevates her teachers' abilities to provide students with opportunities for taking creative risks, praises student achievements, and leads through her support of administrators throughout the district. From the Chesapeake Public Charter School, their outstanding educator was Jessica Gascon. A fellow teacher highlights the effect of her fairness and concern shown to students, making her guidance frequently sought by students, teachers, administrators, and parents to achieve their best outcomes. Their Education Support Professional of the Year was Lucinda Lindsay. A teacher with whom Ms. Lindsay has worked said her efforts to continue high-level instruction paired with her caring and compassionate nature allowed a seamless transition both in and out of the classroom. They also had a SMECO Math Teacher of the Year, Miss Ashley Kurtz. A parent of one of Miss Kurtz's students said, "I can't speak enough on how well she is able to teach children as well as adults. She is flexible with changing situations, and it is evident in all aspects that she values her students and their families." They also had a SMECO STEM Teacher of the Year, Miss Erin Mallory. Her director shared Miss Mallory instills a desire for students to learn and achieve by providing her students with opportunities to create meaning for themselves. From Dinard Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Miss Alicia Boyd. A parent of one Miss Boyd's students said that during virtual learning, her digital classroom was organized, engaging, and that students could ask for help at any time during the school day, and she responded to them quickly. Their Education Support Professional of the Year was Melissa Burrows, who was also a finalist. Ms. Burrows' principal highlighted her continued role to bring breakfast into the classroom program at their school, saying she works incredibly hard because she loves her families and she cares about their well-being. From Evergreen Elementary School, their outstanding educator was Amber Bookhout. A colleague of hers said she formed strong and supportive relationships with her students and positive connections between peers, leading to greater academic gains. Their Education Support Professional, Miss Kimberly Bacon. Her administrator shared Miss Bacon has provided invaluable support with the planning, coordination, and record keeping associated with distributing iPads and laptops to over 700 students. From George Washington Carver Elementary School, their outstanding educator was Miss April Ryan, also a finalist. As a fellow teacher said, Miss Ryan believes in gently fostering and nurturing our children's artistic abilities and recognizes the beneficial results that creativity, accomplishment, and pride have on our students' sense of self-worth. Their Education Support Professional, Mickey Bell, a staff member, said this in nominating her. Miss Bell has worked tirelessly and joyfully providing meals to families throughout the pandemic. However, even this amazing feat pales in comparison to what she does for building morale from sharing encouraging messages to stressed staff. At Green Holly Elementary School, their outstanding educator was Miss Jennifer Kupke, also a finalist. A colleague shared her first memory of Miss Kupke's classroom during a book talk in which she demonstrated her passion for reading, saying she is an avid reader and wants all children to fall in love with reading. Their Education Support Professional, David Holmes, also a finalist. A teacher Mr. Holmes supports in the Sale classroom commented, "He brings to the program a calm and relaxed atmosphere that enables students to relate to him very easily." From Greenview Knolls Elementary School, their outstanding educator, Vanessa Hodge, also a finalist. One of her colleagues shared Ms. Hodge's community outreach during virtual learning to visit a neighborhood park each week, informally chatting with students and giving out books to read while encouraging virtual class participation. Their Education Support Professional of the Year, Lane Thompson. A parent of a student Mr. Thompson supports remarks that every day Mr. Lane is there for their daughter, pushing her to reach her potential with a consistent tone that makes her thrive. And their Leader of Excellence nominee, Janet Fowler. Both staff and parents wrote, "Miss Fowler is a visible and present leader who infuses optimism into every interaction. She knows the names of every student, fosters relationships throughout the school community, and she spends most of her day in the classroom supporting staff and students in their instruction." At Hollywood Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Emily Braithwaite. A parent wrote of her efforts to connect with students online with a virtual Calm Down site, digital lunch bunch, and a classroom lesson, and shared her son's comment that it is Miss B's job to make sure I know to love other people and to be kind to them. Their Education Support Professional of the Year, Karen Dooley. Miss Dooley's team describe her as a positive, encouraging, caring, dependable, and extremely in tune with student needs. She brings light into the classroom. They also had a SMECO Science Teacher of the Year, Jennifer Venendahl. One of her second grade students shared, "I think that Miss Venendahl should get one of the special awards in the whole wide world because she's the best teacher in the whole wide world." From Leonardtown Elementary School, their outstanding educator, Noel Farrell. A colleague writes this of bringing her students to the Media Center. Children who may not own any books at home or may have never had a book read to them become more and more interested in listening to Miss Farrell as she shares her stories each week. Their education support professional, Kimberly Hamilton. A student says of Miss Hamilton, "If a student does not know how to read the food menu, she'll assist them and help them to understand their food choices and works hard to make sure students select every food option available to have a nutritious meal." Their Leader of Excellence nominee, Greg LeCount. A teacher in his building said, "Mr. LeCount is so well versed in instruction that his input into my own performance has helped make me a better teacher on so many levels, while his sincerity makes you feel encouraged, nurtured, and valuable." At Letty Marshall Dent, their outstanding educator is Gail Brinsky. Her administrative team shared how Ms. Brinsky took on leadership this year. A self-professed, non-tech savvy teacher, Gail has leaned into the challenges of virtual teaching unlike any we've seen by embracing the new technology like a pro. Their Education Support Professional of the Year, Kimberly Taylor. In nominating her, Ms. Taylor's colleagues highlighted her work with MTSS and PBIS to create a character corner book display in the Media Center and a sensory center in the library to assist students with their social emotional needs. From Lexington Park Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Christina Baker. In nominating her, Ms. Baker's principal says, "Spending time in one of her music lessons is like stepping into a master class, replete with both highly effective classroom culture practices and research-based instructional practices." Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Laverne Reed. One of Ms. Reed's colleagues wrote, "Her dedication to work, desire to experiment, and find new ways of achieving goals, out-of-the-box thinking, and personal involvement is unparalleled." From Mechanicsville Elementary School, their outstanding educator, Jamie Penny. Her colleague says this of Miss Penny, "She is always searching for different strategies and methods for reaching her students and making learning engaging, authentic, and differentiated." Their Education Support Professional of the Year, Robin Post. Teachers in Ms. Post's building commented she welcomes all teachers and community members with a smile and a "how can I help you" each day, treating everyone with respect and kindness. From Oakville Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Joni Cummins. A fellow teacher says, "While students leave the Media Center holding books, their time with Ms. Cummins truly encompasses the meaning of the word media by accessing a website to encounter digital books, learning how to construct a Google slide presentation, or collaborating to code for robots." Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Judy Davies, also a finalist. As her principal stated, Ms. Davies is a go-to person for everything and the face of the community sees and interacts with when they enter or contact the school, and she is extremely warm and friendly to all who enter. From Park Hall Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Miss Kristen Georgie. As a parent said, she creates an environment much like a community where all the kids recognize each other's successes and provide encouragement, which extends into our homes, supporting the challenges we as parents have. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Amanda Huffman, also a finalist. In nominating Ms. Huffman, her team writes, "She keeps learning fun as well as provides encouragement so that students do not feel left behind or excluded, and her positive attitude always allows students to enjoy learning and not get discouraged." From Piney Point Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Ashley Bean. Her teammates said this of Ms. Bean, "When she is working with a student who has challenges, her interactions are authentic and the student knows she cares about them." Their Education Support Professional is Kimberly Bacon. In nominating Ms. Bacon, the media specialist said, Our students benefit from her knowledge of children's books because she makes thoughtful suggestions as they explore books to check out each week. From Ridge Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Jane Miller Pankowitz. Her fellow teacher says, through positive works and cheerful smiles, she displays a great enthusiasm for teaching and the learning of her students. Their education support professional is Marguerite Kutnick. Her principal commented that she has been a tremendous asset this school year in ensuring the continuity of instruction and services when a classroom or special education teacher has had to take leave during virtual instruction. At Town Creek Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Kristen Ganley. A fellow teacher says of Miss Ganley, her consistent positive attitude, demeanor, and smile as I approached her this year let calmness settle in while I walked into her class as she helped me countless times to figure out Schoology. Their education support professional of the year is Erin Horner. A colleague points out that Miss Horner's students are very responsive to her as she understands the importance of building supportive, trusting relationships. At White Marsh Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Sabrina Lockwood, also a finalist. Her teammates said of Miss Lockwood, she is a true leader that is always ahead of the game and prepared and supports teachers and students in all areas. She has been instrumental in making virtual learning possible at White Marsh. Their education support professional of the year is Phyllis Waters, also a finalist. A teacher she supports said that Miss Waters is a fabulous paraeducator and takes the role of educating very seriously with dedication, reliability, and determination that is invaluable to everyone in the building. Their Leader of Excellence nominee, Julia Steele. In a letter from the staff of White Marsh, Miss Steele is described as a one-of-a-kind principal who inspires us daily to be our best. She masterfully moves from task to task with ease, ensuring that she is advocating for everyone, students, parents, and staff. Congratulations to all of our elementary school nominees. Before we introduce our next guest, we have wonderful awards to recognize our outstanding educators who are here this evening, and we will be providing those at the end of this evening with Dr. Smith will present those along with a special presentation as well. Our next speaker is Miss Irene Hall. She is the St. Mary's County Public Schools Education Support Professional of the Year. Ms. Hall is the Food Services Manager at Spring Ridge Middle School. As she comes forward, let's introduce Ms. Hall with this video.
Ms. Hall is our cafeteria manager who goes above and beyond every single day. She knows all of our students' names, she knows their food preferences, she has established a breakfast program that feeds all 1,100 of our students every single day. During virtual instruction, she's also established a meal pickup program and advertised with our community that we have the highest number of meals served all throughout the pandemic. She's taken our entire food service program to a new level.
Irene Hall is a fantastic food service manager at Spring Ridge Middle School. She is inviting to the students that come into her cafeteria. She makes the environment of the cafeteria a learning place. She's always looking for ways to provide nutrition information. If she can get herself into a health ed classroom and show children how to make smoothies, she's there. She's just encouraging to students and kind and compassionate, and she celebrates the students that come to her cafeteria.
And she has worked in many of our schools to get them back on track and in compliance, and anywhere we send her, she does an amazing job. She bonds with the students, the staff, and she's just a joy to work with.
Congratulations, Ms. Hall. We love you at Spring Ridge.
First of all, let me say thank you. I have this here that I was going to read, but I want to speak from the heart. Spring Ridge Food Services has allowed me to take this journey while I battle my survivor of cancer. I am a survivor, and I'm blessed to be here today. Dr. Zimmerman allowed me to go into the classrooms to do nutrition training. She allowed me to establish a herb garden with the sales kids. I'm allowed to speak to the kids in the cafeteria. I listen to the kids. The kids is my joy. The kids is my food. I listen to the children because guess what? I have the negative, but I can take that negative and turn it around to be a positive, and I do it every day. Yes, Dr. Zimmerman, I know each and every kid's name. Every school I worked at, I learned the children's name. My first passion with working in food services is customer service. We have to have good customer service. Secondly, we have to have good presentation of our food. We eat with our eyes. And I'll just give you a little example. We have called cheese rippers. And if you go into Italian store, what do you see sprinkled on your rippers or your pizza? You see parsley. We eat with our eyes. And during this time of COVID, I make sure that my presentation is in the bag. My food is not thrown in a bag. It is placed in a bag. It's not all over the place because I heard it. I heard it from the children. I heard it from the customer, the community, you know. But I love what I do. I will continue. I give St. Mary County and I'm going to call you Dr. Megan. Ms. Megan, thank you for allowing me to do the different things into the schools because that is my greatest joy of all. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Ms. Hall. Those words were really from the heart. It was very obvious, so thank you for that. So now we're going to move on to our middle school recipients, and so as we play this video, recognizing our middle school nominees. The middle school nominees are, from Esperanza Middle School, their outstanding educator is Jennifer Ray, also a finalist. Her fellow teacher writes, Ms. Ray has especially thrived during virtual teaching. She entered this year with a positive outlook, constantly evaluating how she can best support her students through engaging instruction. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Emily Howe. A colleague said, Ms. Howe's flexibility in the Compass classroom has allowed her to adapt classroom materials and lessons to help students access learning, which has been a massive asset as we face previously unseen challenges during this school year. They also had a SMECO Math Teacher of the Year, Paul Quaid. Mr. Quaid's principal shared, his enthusiasm, love, and passion for teaching are evident in his classroom, even in the virtual classroom that has been our learning situation during the pandemic. From Leonardtown Middle School, their outstanding educator is Tamara Payne. Her teammate says of Ms. Payne, she instills a desire to learn and achieve in her students. She understands the needs of her students, encourages their talents, and fosters their self-esteem. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Jacqueline Jones. The school's teachers write, Miss Jackie, as we lovingly call her, works diligently to ensure our building is clean and safe for students and staff. She has a constant smile and welcoming presence, whether she is professionally explaining cleaning protocols, lending a hand to welcome students, or checking on teachers that work late in the evening. They had a SMECO Science Teacher of the Year, Nina Bile. A parent of one of her students said, I was simply amazed at her willingness to drop off textbooks for my son to ensure he had class materials. Educators like Ms. Bile, who do more than what is asked and expected of them, are beyond excellent to me. Their Leader of Excellence nominee is Dr. Debbie Denny. A parent of Leonardtown Middle School students wrote, Her approach to leadership is welcoming, supportive, and focused on what is best for the teachers in her charge and the students in her care. My child looks forward to Dr. Denny's smile and greeting each morning as she starts her day. From Margaret Brent Middle School, their outstanding educator is Rachel Harmon. Her principal writes, "As we have maneuvered through the virtual learning environment, Ms. Harmon's understanding and manipulation of technology for classroom instruction has provided her students an opportunity to succeed in the online learning format." Their education support professional, Mary Jo Sargent. A teacher in her building shared, "There are days when I don't see or talk to people in person while virtually teaching. But Ms. Sargent is always out and about in the hallways, working to ensure the school looks wonderful, and she takes time to make a connection, which is so important now." From Spring Ridge Middle School, their outstanding educator is Catherine Sushinsky, a finalist. Her teammate commented on her teaching. "She strives to captivate young minds by facilitating conversations with students with the goal that their different viewpoints and experiences will enhance each and every lesson." Their Education Support Professional of the Year, Irene Hall, also a finalist. As the school principal wrote in nominating her, Ms. Hall provides breakfast to every one of our 1,000+ students daily, supper for our students during after-school tasks, food and cooking demonstrations for our students, and even has an herb garden and vegetable garden with students in our courtyard. And she does it all with a smile. Their Leader of Excellence nominee is Dr. Wendy Zimmerman. Her team wrote, "Dr. Zimmerman is the heart of the school. Through her illustrious leadership, she has invoked in her staff a desire to learn and grow professionally, and she conveys genuine enthusiasm and compassion for her students and staff." Congratulations to our middle school nominees. Tonight, we recognize two of our outstanding Teachers of the Year. Ms. Jennifer Ray, science teacher at Esperanza Middle School, and Ms. April Ryan, an art teacher at George Washington Carver Elementary School. Each one will have a moment to speak with you, and I'd first like to introduce you to our nominee for the Washington Post Teacher of the Year, Ms. Jennifer Ray. Please enjoy this video introducing her.
Ms. Ray is respected and valued by all the teachers at Esperanza. This year brought new challenges with virtual learning, and she showed continued dedication and support to all of the students, families, and staff at Esperanza. Ms. Ray plays an active role with her PLC for planning engaging lessons for the students, and she also develops and delivers professional development to the teachers at Esperanza to support them in the new challenges that came along with virtual learning. Ms. Ray is an invaluable team member at Esperanza Middle School.
Ms. Ray is an educator who always goes above and beyond for her students and their families. And as a 6th grade teacher, she makes the transition for the 6th graders to middle school so much less intimidating. She engages them with her lessons and always encourages them to look for the science that's around them. I'm truly grateful to have her as a colleague at Esperanza, and I'm so proud of her for all of her hard work this year.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Smith, Dr. Montgomery, Dr. Marr, and members of the Board of Education. I am honored to be receiving this award. This has been an incredible year to be receiving this award, and I am most grateful for everyone who has supported me. This evening, I'd like to share something about perseverance and ingenuity. Perseverance provides the groundwork for our efforts this year. We certainly charted unfamiliar territories. Some days our journey spanned countless distances, while other days were filled with the unknown. We communicated regularly, but despite all efforts, sometimes we just had to wait, never giving up, persevering through difficult conditions, in order to understand and to learn. It took perseverance to explore this uncharted territory. Ingenuity allowed us to reach new heights and to do things we never thought were possible. Some days were better than others. But nonetheless, we crafted new solutions to accomplish things we never thought we could do. By now, you're probably thinking, that's a pretty good reflection of the school year. Perseverance and ingenuity allowed us to accomplish things we never thought we can do. Or maybe you know my humor, or you remember that I'm a science teacher, an earth science teacher to be exact. And some of you may have realized that perseverance and ingenuity are more connected to science than you had initially expected. It all depends on your perspective. Within my classroom, I encourage my students to view the world from different perspectives so that they may understand the universe and the world around them and each other in a new way. The message you heard about perseverance and ingenuity reflects your perspective of this year. You are listening to this with your own personal experiences, in your own shoes, with your own eyes and ears, and you are aware of how far we have come this year. On February 28th, 2021, the Perseverance rover would land on Mars. 2 months later, the Mars helicopter, Ingenuity, would successfully take flight. These two names for equipment on the Mars 2020 mission have never been more appropriate. When faced with the impossible or the unknown, consider perseverance and ingenuity. This year, we have accomplished so much as educators, as parents, as community members, and as humans. It took perseverance and ingenuity to get us to where we are today. Continue to explore, reach new heights, and persevere through challenges while solving problems with ingenuity. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ray. Those were great words. And so we move now from science to art. And I'd like to introduce our nominee for the Maryland Teacher of the Year, Ms. April Ryan. And please enjoy this video as she approaches the stage.
So April Ryan is the ideal candidate for Teacher of the Year. She is a teacher who touches the lives of our staff and our students in so many ways. Ms. Ryan is our staff cheerleader. She is always smiling, always happy, greeting all of her students, bringing out their creativity. She brings so much love and passion and dedication and talent to our school and to our entire county.
April Ryan is a phenomenal art educator. She makes everyone, no matter what grade, feel so welcome. She is so inclusive of every student in this school, every staff member, whether they're a teacher, paraeducator, building service worker, makes everyone feel welcome. And everyone in this school is lucky to know her, lucky to learn from her. And I'm super happy that she is Teacher of the Year for St. Mary's County Public Schools. I'm super happy that she is Teacher of the Year for St. Mary's County. Public schools.
That is just so on brand for me. I love that happened. Thank you so much. What an honor it is to be here this evening. Congratulations to everyone being recognized at tonight's event, both in person and virtually. It seems like just yesterday, rather than a lifetime ago, my journey with St. Mary's County Public Schools began when I hopped off the bus on my first day of pre-K at Greenview Knolls, and then I graduated from LHS, so it's really full circle. Since that day, I have had the joy of being supported and surrounded by the teachers and staff of SMCPS. I may be a bit biased, but clearly you hire the best of the best. It is an absolute honor to represent my current colleagues and, of course, my former teachers as the SMCPS nominee for Maryland Teacher of the Year. Thank you to the Board of Education, Dr. Marr, Dr. Montgomery, and my man, Dr. Smith, for this incredible recognition. I promise to make you and SMCPS proud. Thank you to my husband, Jeff, and my kids, Kaya and Hallam, for standing by my side through it all, listening to the endless amount of teacher talk, and for not being too embarrassed that I note all of your teachers every year. Your love and laughter are truly a blessing, and I love you so much. Thank you to my parents and sisters for their continuous support throughout the years, which occasionally looked like helping me set up or pack up classrooms, delivering forgotten laptops, or cutting hundreds of wood blocks for sculpture projects. You are my village, and I appreciate you. To my best friend, thank you for at least 20 daily phone calls to talk about art and lesson plans, and for being by my side as we work to raise the bar in art education. To my supervisor, thank you for trusting me and supporting my endeavors to advocate for every SMCPS student. Art should be equitable, accessible, and available to every single child. Last but obviously not least, thank you to my Carver School family. I literally would not be standing here today if it weren't for the teachers, staff, and students at Carver. You have all truly made me the teacher I am today. Miss Eichel, thank you for taking a chance on me as a mid-year hire, for not being upset when I showed up one day with bright pink hair, and for seeing the value in my content, my ideas, and my voice. Your love and passion for the students is an inspiration. Oh gosh, I don't know how you all did this without crying. Sorry, I'm emotional. To my Carver colleagues, you are all so spectacular. You each do incredible things in your rooms every day. You're dedicated to our students, and I'm lucky to have found such a great group of people who appreciate and often match my level of extra. To my students, I love you, each and every single one of you, every single day. You shine as bright as rainbows, stardust, sunshine, and moonbeams, and guiding you through art making and the creative process is the absolute best and most fun job. At the beginning of every class, my students recite our art affirmation to remind ourselves and each other of our greatness. My hope is that my students take those powerful reminders that they are positive, creative, calm, safe, loved, amazing artists, and channel that energy and love into everything they do. You can make the world a better place, and sometimes that starts with making it more beautiful through art, but it always means seeing the best within yourself. I can't claim that I'm doing anything extraordinary or revolutionary in my classroom, but everything I do for my students, school, and colleagues comes from a place of genuine love. I love my students fiercely, and they know it. I believe that it is my compassion for others that has brought me to this stage tonight. Inaugural poet Amanda Gorman wrote, "If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright." My hope is that you all radiate love in your classrooms, homes, and neighborhoods, and that the resulting legacy of taking care of and keeping each other safe is long-lasting. It is through love that we can dismantle the oppressive systems that create harmful barriers for people of color, indigenous populations, the LGBTQ community, and people with disabilities. Our legacy of love should look like advocating for and creating a more inclusive and equitable future for all, to celebrate and respect diversity, and to spread kindness. Thank you.
Thank you, April, for those very heartfelt words. Now we recognize our high school and central office honorees with this video, and let's hope it doesn't buffer, right? So, the high school nominees are from Chopticon High School, their outstanding educator, Rachel Sitchko. Her administrator writes, Miss Sitchko gets to know every student in her class as a whole person. She is able to see exactly what each student brings to the classroom and their community. Their Education Support Professional of the Year, Loretta Tyler, is also a finalist. An administrator says Miss Tyler is an active member of the Chopticon community. She makes it a point to be aware of all aspects of student learning, activities, and events, and actively supports and engages in promoting a positive school culture. Their Leader of Excellence nominee, Shelley McDaniel. A student in the AVPA program overseen by Ms. McDaniel wrote, "She ensures that we are successful students first and organizes wonderful experiences in the arts with visiting performers and field trips. Her support and encouragement has given me the confidence to pursue my dreams." From Great Mills High School, their outstanding educator is Rebecca Waite. Her assistant principal and a parent of a student shared that Ms. Waite's instructional screencasts on the student uses of new technology platforms helped her son, instead of feeling defeated by the technology, he was able to focus on this learning in demanding academic courses. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Laura Skarwecki. Her administrative team wrote in nominating Ms. Skarwecki, "She is the perfect person to engage new community members when joining our Great Mills High School community because she is kind, cheerful, and positive in her interactions with students, parents, and staff, and all community members who enter our building." They had a SMECO STEM Teacher of the Year, Nora Blasco. A parent wrote of Ms. Blasco's students, "She guides without being intrusive, mentors without masking personal growth, and encourages students' natural interests and passions." From Leonardtown High School, their outstanding educator is Kelly Bridges, also a finalist. As Ms. Bridges' supervisor said, her desire to apply her ideas and experience to instructional professional development is a testament to her dedication to both her teaching and her colleagues. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is James Mikoka, also a finalist. In nominating him, the team wrote, "Mr. Mikoka is an active community member at Leonardtown High School who involves himself in a number of programs and leadership roles within the school, including working with the marching band and participating in the MTSS committee." They had a SMECO Math Teacher of the Year, Jasmine Thompson. According to her administrator, Ms. Thompson is that fun-loving, dynamic teacher that every student hopes they have. Students appreciate her positivity, patience, and commitment to helping them feel confident in their math ability. Their SMECO Science Teacher of the Year is Lindsay Healy. Her administrator said of Ms. Healy, "Students appreciate her understanding nature in her classroom, evidenced by often standing room-only crowds of students that gather during lunch." At Fairleigh Academy 1, their outstanding educator is Jessica Satterfield. Her teammate shared that her usual handshake greeting of each student may be replaced with elbow bumps or toe taps, but Ms. Satterfield prioritizes greeting every student before each class period to connect with them, gauge their mood, and show them that they are the most important part of her classroom. Their Educational Support Professional is Mary Lenhertz. A teacher Ms. Lenhertz supports said, "She genuinely cares about each of the students and works with them to help them relax and let down their walls." Her impact goes far beyond the school day. She helps kids trust that school is a place of support and growth. From Fairleigh Academy 2, their outstanding educator is Stephanie Potts. A colleague said that while Ms. Potts wants students to succeed in her content, she also takes the time to teach them to be positive members of society, making sure our students excel in all aspects of life. Their Education Support Professional is Darla Adams. Her colleague writes, "Miss Adams is very flexible and goes out of her way to help students wherever they need it, whether it's with meeting with them, to help with classwork, or delivering tech equipment to them so they are well prepared for school." At the Dr. James A. Forrest Career and Technology Center, the outstanding educator is Melissa Chu, also a finalist. Ms. Chu's colleagues wrote, On many occasions, I have observed her class in action and witnessed active learning, differentiation, social emotional learning, technology integration, and collaborative learning all taking place. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Rebecca Badofsky. Her principal says that she develops outstanding relationships with struggling students by never giving up on them and continually working to find ways to help students access the material they are learning. The nominees from central office locations are: from the central office at Moakley Street, the Education Support Professional of the Year nominee is Marianne Williams, also a finalist. In nominating Ms. Williams, the team said she wrote and produced video and media messages for our community that have been essential this school year, including board meetings, graduations, safety protocols, mental health awareness, and educational programming, all with positivity, creativity, and professionalism. From the Central Office's Division of Supporting Services, the Educational Support Professional of the Year is Amy Downs. Her colleagues say that as Ms. Downs organizes the transportation of students with special needs and circumstances, safety and security of the students are at the very forefront of her decisions as she collaborates with school administrators and staff, school bus contractors and bus drivers, and parents in a positive and professional manner. The Leader of Excellence nominee is Megan Doran. Ms. Doran rose to the occasion and motivated others as she worked to ensure the smooth distribution of more than 1 million meals to students. She views problems as opportunities for learning and growth. Congratulations to all of these exceptional nominees. Thank you. And finally, our last speaker of the evening is our Leader of Excellence recipient, Ms. Laurel Dietz, Assistant Principal at Captain Walter Francis Duke Elementary, and we'll introduce her with this video as she comes to the stage.
Laurel has been instrumental with my transition here at Duke. I don't know how I could do what I do effectively in this building without her here. She models our SOAR principles for our staff and for our students. She shows service, ownership, accountability, and respect in everything she does. And she is truly a leader in every facet and every meaning of the word. She loves kids. She builds solid relationships with our families, and there's nothing she's afraid to do. She's an amazing person and an amazing leader.
Miss Dietz, Laurel Dietz, is our vice principal here at Duke, and she's my IEP chairperson. I joined the Duke staff about 2 years ago, and once I got here, she was so welcoming. She walked me through everything that I would need as a special education teacher. On my first day, one of the biggest things I remember is she walked into my room and she was like, "What can I help you with?" And I've never had really a vice principal that was so willing to just jump into any situation. We're just so lucky here at Duke to have Miss Dietz. I'm so lucky. I know our special ed team is so lucky, and I come to work every day because of people like Laurel Dietz.
You should really let people see that before they see it for the first time here. Before I get started, Dr. Marr, thank you to your team. This is just beautiful, the work that you guys put into that, so thank you. Okay. Good evening. I am honored to be accepting this year's Leader of Excellence Award, but this recognition is not mine alone. It is a true reflection of the impact of the remarkable people in both my personal and professional life and what they have had on me. I'd like to begin by thanking my other half, John, and our kids. Thank you for sharing me with about 530 students and their families. I know that it is not an easy task and that my teacher, assistant principal voice doesn't always stop at the door. You are always willing to listen to the stories about my special friends and provide me with a safe place to land and recharge so I can go back to doing a job that I love. Your support means everything. Thank you to my tribe of fellow administrators who are always there to listen and reflect. You are role models who brighten my days and make a tough job a little easier. Thank you to Dr. Smith, Dr. Montgomery, and members of the Board of Education for the opportunity to work at Captain Walter Francis Duke Elementary School. It is an amazing place where staff and students truly soar, and where I have the privilege of working with people who are just simply the best at what they do and who care deeply about our kids and their success. To my Duke Aviator team, thank you for every bit of professionalism and love that you bring to your craft and to our kids every day. You make a remarkable difference in their lives and mine. And finally, thank you to my parents. They have been the driving force behind my growth as a leader from the very beginning by always telling me like it is, reminding me not to take myself too seriously, expecting that I treat everyone with respect, no exceptions, that I do my best no matter the task, learn from my mistakes, remember that everything happens for a reason, and try again no matter how long it takes to get it right, all while remaining my biggest cheerleaders. They chose to help me learn these lessons not only by being good role models, but by also choosing to involve me in the study of music. It's a decision for which I will forever be grateful to them. That decision actually led me straight to this stage, literally. Not tonight, but nearly 30 years ago as a freshman here at Leonardtown High School in the chorus and the band. I have lived a lifetime of memories on this stage, first as a student, then as a very young and inexperienced teacher, and now as an administrator. And my experience as a young teacher here on this stage is where I drew the inspiration for my remarks this evening. When Dr. Montgomery and Dr. Marr came to tell me the news that I had been selected as the Leader of Excellence, I was quite surprised. In fact, I was probably pretty silent. Because on the inside, I was saying, really? This year? The year where I never before have said, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? And, well, that didn't work. Let's try again, more than I have this school year. Never before have I felt like I didn't have the answers to questions that I didn't even know I was asked, but that others were looking to me to already know. But then I remembered the fall of 1999, when a group of 140 high school kids sat on this very stage every day and looked to me, their new chorus teacher, to know how to put on a winter concert. To be honest, I really had no idea. Of course, I knew what the end product should look and sound like, but I'd never been in charge of actually preparing for and directing the entire concert. And you know what I said almost every single day? I don't know. Well, what are your thoughts on that? Well, that didn't work. Let's try again. And we did just that. Try again together every single day until the winter concert performance date came. And you know what? In the end, we put on a pretty good concert. That's how I see this year. We knew what the end product should look like, but we honestly had no idea how to get there. But we tried again and again together every single day, and we did it. We put on a school year, and Dr. Smith, to steal your phrase, a mostly fine one at that. Reflecting on my early teaching experiences in this school year has reminded me that leadership doesn't come with a title or magically appear because you have a title. It has also reminded me that just because you are in a position of leadership doesn't mean you have all the answers. Leadership means you are able to work through a challenge and unite a group of people to work together toward a common goal. Leadership means you show up every day and do your best to support those around you. Our system is full of exceptional leaders. My school is full of exceptional leaders, leaders who show up every day and do their best to support those around them. They work in classrooms every day. They learn in classrooms every day. Our system's teachers, students, support staff, and administrators are all the leaders of excellence this school year, and I am humbled to have been chosen to be their representative. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ms. Dietz. Each year, we partner with the Citizens Advisory Committee for Special Education to recognize outstanding staff. Mr. Scott Serbiak, Director of Special Education, will introduce and present these awards. Mr. Serbiak.
Good evening. Students with special needs encounter various SMCPS staff every day. Not all staff members are specific to the special education department. However, any of them can make a lasting positive impact on the education of students, and for that we're truly grateful. Since 2014, the Rise Up Award has been given by the Citizens Advisory Committee of Special Education to recognize any SMCPS staff member who has demonstrated going above and beyond to provide an education to our students. CASE is a parent-led group that offers parents and caregivers the opportunity to become more knowledgeable about local, state, and national special education issues and resources. CASE shares their knowledge with others just starting the journey or who want to work on similar goals. The committee collaborates with the Special Education Department to improve the education of all children with special needs. The Rise Up Awards are unique in that the nominations come from parents and in some cases even students. The community selected the following staff members for their professionalism, dedication, compassion, and positive attitude toward our special education students. Ms. Sarah Gerard and Ms. Jamie Henson, preschool special education teachers at Green Holly Elementary School. The following was shared by a parent of a student at Green Holly Elementary. If I had been asked to pick the perfect teacher and paraeducator for my son, it would have been who he is assigned to, Ms. Gerard and Mrs. Henson. My son initially had a challenging time with virtual instruction. Ms. Gerard and Ms. Henson recognized his distress, and even when it didn't seem like he was attentive, he was listening and responding. I lost my spot here. These staff members communicated and shared their empathy and compassion for what was happening, and their suggestions showed that they understood my child's needs and how we could address them. That conversation was truly a turning point for my child. He went from being fearful of virtual learning to embracing it. My child looks forward to going to school and lights up when he sees Ms. Gerard and Ms. Henson. As a parent, I'm so impressed with the communication coming from the classroom. Whether it's an email or daily communication log, I feel like I always know what's going on when my child's at Green Holly Elementary. Ms. Gerard and Ms. Henson also have brief conversations with me at every pickup, and I can tell you that they celebrate my child's accomplishments almost as much as we do. I cannot imagine a better teacher and paraeducator for my child. They are truly remarkable. Let's give them a round of applause. Ms. Susan Rye, special education teacher at Chesapeake Public Charter School. Ms. Janine Ellis, a special education teacher at Chesapeake Public Charter School. Ms. Jessica Gaskin, a counselor at Chesapeake Public Charter School. And Ms. Ashley Kurtz, a second grade teacher at Chesapeake Public Charter School, were recognized by a parent as a team of teachers. The following was shared by the parent. This year was our child's first year at Chesapeake Public Charter School, and he had anxiety and reservations about attending a new school. The team regularly provided communication and support to us with individual meetings, surveys, emails, pictures on Dojo, and phone calls. The team was very understanding and flexible with scheduling meetings and supporting a family with 2 working parents. Mrs. Ellis provided additional guidance and skills to our child's grandmother, who helped with school, and Ms. Gaskin met with them regularly to build awareness on emotions and providing coping skills. She organized drop-off locations, and Ms. Kurtz went as far as making a video of those drop-off procedures and awarenesses and references. This provided a lot of comfort and calmed many anxieties. The best gift this team has provided is after the first day of returning to the classroom after nearly a year of virtual school, my child wanted to come to school. That attitude shift cannot be bought, bribed, or persuaded. I know because I tried. This is the result of a group of extraordinary educators who are compassionate and dedicated to entirely possibly changing the trajectory of a future in a child. We have hope for our child's future as we have not only seen our child progress academically, but mature, thrive socially and emotionally. We owe recognition, praise, and gratitude to this exceptional special education team. Another parent on this team recognized Ms. Ray. During this pandemic, Ms. Ray has gone the extra mile for the child and other students. Ms. Ray has been dedicated to meeting individually with students using Zoom and Google Meets. Ms. Ray makes sure her students are aware of the weekly schedule and tasks. She sends out those schedules with embedded links to assignments and Google Meets. She has worked collaboratively with her teachers to ensure that my child is getting the appropriate accommodations needed to be successful in school. Ms. Rai is positive and encouraging even when my child was not always happy to be awake for his lessons. By the end of the lesson, my child was happy and excited to begin his day. When asking my child what staff member he feels the most comfortable and connected to and who he would always go to for questions, he always responded with Ms. Ray. Mrs. Ray's professionalism and dedication to the students she works with makes her an ideal candidate for the Rise Up Award. Again, I would like to congratulate those that were nominated for the Rise Up Award and give them a round of applause. And I'd also like to thank each and every educator this year and previously who've made a difference in our students' lives. And with that, I'm going to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Scott Smith, for closing remarks.
So there's no video for me. All right, that's fine. Before I begin my very brief prepared remarks, Ms. Hall, you said we eat first with our eyes. And it certainly is true for food, but it's true for everything else. We see first and we really deeply take a moment to pause. So how appropriate it is to recognize an artist. How incredible it is to have a science teacher who weaves a little lesson into a speech about perseverance and ingenuity. How wonderful it is to see STEAM with the A, STEM with the A making STEAM. Everybody who spoke here tonight, you are inspirational, you are making people emotional. It really is quite wonderful. This has been one devil of a year, and you are all angels for helping us get through it. Nobody ever complained about a speech being wouldn't it be?
Do you want him to say it again?
Talk about on brand, right? So at this point, since we have these major awards, and you've been covetously eyeing them, I know, how about if we call each person up, Dr. Marr, and I shall hand them the beautiful award. Mrs. Bailey will join us as well because we have a recognition from Senator Bailey as well. So why don't we do that? And I've been told that this is this the right place?
Next marks the spot. For those at home, we apologize for the technical difficulties as we had to replace batteries on a microphone, but we're back, and apparently I need to move this away from my voice. Okay, don't project so much, Jeff. Okay, so first we'd like to call up to the stage to receive their award Miss Janet Fowler, Principal of Greenview Knolls Elementary, and our Washington Post Principal of the Year. And now we'll introduce Miss Irene Hall again, our Food Service Manager at Spring Ridge Middle School and our Education Support Professional of the Year. And our Teachers of the Year, first, Miss Jennifer Ray, Science Teacher at Esperanza Middle School, and our Washington Post Teacher of the Year. And Miss April Ryan, Art Teacher at George Washington Carver Elementary School, and our Maryland State Teacher of the Year. And welcome back to the stage, Miss Laurel Dietz, Assistant Principal at Captain Walter Francis Duke Elementary School, and our Leader of Excellence. Congratulations again to all of our staff recognized both at home and here this evening. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.